Welcome to Chicago State of Mind, the podcast where we spotlight the people, the stories, and the voices that help shape the city of Chicago and beyond. I'm your host, Cheryl Mainor, and today we're honored to be joined by a respected leader, mentor, author, and community advocate whose work has impacted countless lives throughout Chicago and beyond. He's the CEO of MG Media, the publisher and managing editor of 4 newsletters, TBT News, TBT Biz, The Public Eye, and The Property. Please welcome Chicago's own Carl West. Welcome, Carl. Welcome to Chicago State of Mind.
I'm so excited to be a part of Chicago State of Mind.
We're very happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me, and we've been trying to pull this off for quite some time, but here's no time like the present.
It's a conversation that has to happen.
Absolutely, I think so. Being that we are Chicagoans, given the fact that we've made our bones in this town.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
For the most part.
Yes, we have a lot of skin in this
We
game.
got skin all in this game.
I love it.
We got, they say look in the rearview mirror, we got bodies in the rearview mirror.
Bodies.
We got body counts in the rearview mirror.
In the truest sense of the way.
Yes, indeed. So,
As a woman, you have to be careful about that.
that's okay. As a man, you don't.
About that body count thing conversation.
As a man, it's a badge of honor.
Oh, hello. Hello. What can I say?
Nothing.
So we're so excited to have you here, and I want to tell our audience and listen as you talk about your journey, because it's really quite interesting and profound where we are today. We're a little bit older, we're a little bit wiser, and a lot of this we got straight out the mud.
And somewhat still confused.
Well, it's confusing times now.
Yeah.
As soon as we thought we had this whole media thing down pat, everything shifted, everything changed, and now here we are at this young age, worrying or learning something totally new, which is what we're doing, and becoming new things, which Carl is now the author of The Support System. We're going to get back to this book because we're going to talk a lot about it.
Can I say something to you about
Yes.
the confusing part to me?
Sure.
And this is real. This is the Chicago State of Mind. This is real.
Absolutely.
Real talk. When I mean confusing for me, and I think once I explain this, you would agree with me to some degree, and that is that I truly did. I thought that, and I'm in a good space. I can't complain about that. I've been blessed. God has been good to me, but I've worked hard. Ain't nobody handed me a silver spoon and said, run with it. I had to go, to your point, in the mud and get real dirty. And I stayed dirty for years. For years, I had to stay dirty. Wasn't no coming out of the mud, because if I got out of the mud, that probably would have been it for me.
Right.
I had to stay in the mud and fight it out. But the confusing part to me is being in Chicago, that was labeled the home of black business, where black business got its start in terms of spreading out with global icons.
Right.
And we can name them, but no need, people know who they are, some may not. Do your research and figure it out. But I will say someone like John Johnson and the host of hair care companies.
John Johnson, George Johnson, the Lusters, keep on going.
The Cadillac people, Suttons, all these people, iconic folks. But the confusing part to me was I truly believe, and maybe I was naive, but I don't believe I was, because my research based on what I have done and what I do presently today, and that is I study everybody. I study every nationality and race to look at how they have built communities, families, businesses, legacies.
Yep.
I've studied them because I was instructed to do so at a very early age. They said, and I'm gonna use this word, but I don't call them that, but I'm gonna use the word based on how it was brought to me, presented to me. And you gotta remember, these were old heads.
Sure.
And they had a lot of history in this country. And they said, Carl, study your enemy. Learn how they think, how they operate, what they do, and understand why they do what they do. And if once you do that, you won't be so surprised at what they do. Because a lot of times what they do, a lot of times are going to do with you and your people. It strictly is about them and their people.
That's right.
And if you're in the way, or they feel like they're threatened by you and your people, then they will act in a uncivilized way. And this was the modern day. This wasn't going back to slavery. That was a whole different ball game. This was the modern day civilized Americans. Let's just say from 1950 on up to now. They didn't necessarily always operate against us. They were always operating for
themselves.
Them. Always,
exactly.
First and foremost.
Exactly.
And I got into this game thinking that my community, my elite, as I was crumbling out the mud, coming out the mud, I thought my elite, who I saw their elite do was, when they saw talent, they embraced it and cuffed it and brought it in and said, what can we do to build you, which in terms build me, which in terms build us.
Right.
And that didn't happen. I didn't see that. And I didn't see that when I came out the mud. I came out the mud thinking that if I got out this mud and I showed what I was made of, that I was built for this journey, they would be like, oh.
Oh, right, the big embrace.
We got to have him on our, we got to have him,
right.
Go get him.
Right.
No, didn't happen that way. That's, to me, was surprising. And I used to be hurt by that for a very long time.
That there was this feeling of you being threatening
Get
or
yours,
whatever.
get yours. I got mine, go get yours. You don't even, it just wasn't an embrace. It wasn't an embrace.
Yeah, I can honestly say a lot of that experience absolutely is very, very true.
I think a lot of us can say that, especially.
But I was fortunate enough to have one who saw that and did that, right? And I wouldn't be here now.
When?
I would not.
The question is when. When did they do it in the latter part after you had already?
No.
Or they do it in the early part?
Early part,
right? And
right.
see,
Well, for me, it was Mr. Garth. Was Bill Garth.
Well, thank you, because
That's the one.
But Bill, see,
But
was
I
gonna
understand.
Say, but he was my mentor. But Bill Garth was a mentor. His whole thing was, I'm going to show you how this game is played.
Right.
But Bill Garth he wasn't in a position to really, and I'm going to use these words, to fund your operation and give you what you need.
Correct.
As a financial business arrangement.
Correct.
I'm talking about that.
Right. I didn't have any, no, for sure not, right?
I had great mentors Mr. Bill Garth, Henry English, Conrad. I had great mentors gave me the game.
Right.
They gave me the game, but they didn't. But I'm talking about the folks who make the game easier.
Right.
Because of where they sit.
Right.
And I saw these other nationalities that I was studying
doing that
every day. It was regular, and I asked one of my white people that I used to hang around all the time, and he was extremely wealthy. These people was extremely wealthy when I worked for the stock market. I just want to clear this up real quick. So I work on the stock market, right? Let me just tell you, this is fascinating to me.
Okay.
I was a market reporter. I worked on the desk, and every trader that came in that morning, it's 6:00 in the morning, I had to be there at 5. Mm-hmm. They would get a report from the night before because they not thinking about the market. They out enjoying their lives, right? So they come in, I would have a report. They would get it, look at it, okay, and go about their business. I'm gonna tell you this is for real. This is for real. And I wrote about this it's in the book slightly, just a little piece. I used to see white men. They would be bums. They would be crackheads. They would be alcoholics. They would be white men who decided after college they was gonna walk the earth and find themselves, right?
Yeah.
And they would come to the Board of Trade, and they would come to my desk because they would say, "Oh, ask for Carl, and Carl will let you know where I'm at, a particular trader." And they would come and say, hey, they would come bent over, messed up, just as I just described them. And all these horrific things that we would run away from. We run from those things. that those persons must have said somewhere to somebody, I want to get my life right. I want to get my life right, which is important to acknowledge that and say, I want to get my life right. And they probably was pointed to somebody that said they can help you get your life right. And so they came and asked for a particular person, and I was like, oh, well, he told me he was coming and he'll be back. He'll be here at so-and-so, so and time. The person would come, take him away. 6 months, I was seeing
Bring him back.
He got a bag, he's a trader, he clean, and now he's making millions of dollars. I saw this happen, and I'm not exaggerating. I saw this, I worked there 66 years. I saw this happen 50 times minimum. 50 times somebody came and asked for somebody, they came and got him, whisked him away, and all of a sudden, here he is 6 months later. And one guy was a repeat offender. What I mean was, they asked for him on multiple times, at least 5 or 6 times, this one guy. And I just happened to know him, as just speaking to him cordially. He was very cordial, very nice when he came by. And I asked him, but this was years later. I finally got into my own groove where I'm like, what's up with that? What's up with that? Why do you? He was like, Carl, I'm building allies. We're building allies. Explain that to me.
Just imagine if we did that.
He said, explain that to me. He said, well, Carl, I got a tremendous lifestyle. I'm a wealthy man, got a tremendous lifestyle, I got a wife, got kids in school. But in this business, something can always happen. I've seen people make money, and I've seen people lose all their money. Mm-hmm. In this business, it can happen for various of reasons.
Right.
But if it does for me and others like me, I don't have to leave my home. I don't have to sell my house. I don't have to take my kids out of college. I don't have to stop my wife from having this tremendous lifestyle that I've helped her have. I don't have to
jump out the window.
I don't have to give away my cars because I got all these allies that I built. They're going to take care of that for me until I get back on my feet because I'm guaranteed to get back on my feet. One going to pay the mortgage. One is going to pay my daughter's college tuition. One is going to make sure my car notes are paid. One is going to make sure my wife get that fur coat if she still wants it for Christmas.
It's the ultimate back scratch.
It's the ultimate back scratch. And I'm blown away. I'm blown
away right now.
That he described it just like that. He said, my lifestyle will never have to change because I've made 4, 5, or 6 people billionaires less than or equal to me. And some of them are probably going to be greater than me in terms of their financial wealth. I don't ever have to change my lifestyle. And I'm sitting there thinking, now granted, being a young man, because I worked there when I was 21 to 27, 28, I ain't completely understand it till later when it's soaked in. It's soaked in. I was like, oh my God. So it goes back to my point was when I quit the board trade to go start my business, I was in the mud. Yes. I was in the mud. And I thought, based on what I saw with them, I thought my people would do it too. To the contrary. There we go. I'll leave it right there. To the contrary. I'll leave it right there. And I was hurt that my people didn't see talent in me and others who had the means, who was in our community, and did just embrace you with the concept of if you win, I win. I continue to win, and I keep making winners. And I was disappointed, and I was hurt for a very long time. I still did what I had to do, but I used to look at people differently. I looked at people differently when I saw them. No matter how much I smiled at them and kicked it with them or hung out with them or whatever, I looked at that whole elite circle just so different.
I can definitely understand where you're coming from. And I will have to say that I try, and I do, run this business differently. Mm-hmm. I run this business differently, right? So when someone has talent and they want and they're hungry, my answer is always, come on in.
That's right.
Right?
Should be.
There isn't anything in here that's a secret that anybody can't learn, or there isn't anybody who doesn't bring their gifts and their talents to it that I can't learn from, that we can't learn from. We wouldn't have this studio. We wouldn't have these microphones, the light setups and everything. It was like I could start a little bit, but then, here comes the production team, CaveRoom, and here they come, and they brought their gifts to this as well. And we have, Elijah, who came out of high school. He's back for his second year. The first thing he did when we walked in today, I was like, come on, we got to work on a script, right? Everybody's working, and I pull people in, and I give them as much as I have to give, everything, right? I don't hold back from them what they can do here. If it's training that people are offering to us from some of the top places, the schools and organizations and resources and all that, I make it available to everybody that's in here, because that's how you have to move forward. I'm with you 100%, and I would say that I have noticed that as well. Just reaching back, you know what I mean, and saying, hey, no. So we have to get it our own self, and we do, right?
You got to. I mean,
But
you can't wait for them. You got to keep it moving.
We do.
But again, you examine in your life journey. You learn, you study, you examine, you remember.
Yeah.
It's simple. That's all.
Don't forget, and
That's it.
you
don't
move
forget.
accordingly.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah.
So, because we kind of jumped forward, but I want to know. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. So you're from Chicago.
I was born in Jackson, Mississippi. Family migrated here when I was 2.
Okay.
So I'm a city country boy. I call myself a city country boy.
City
Only because every year, of course, like a lot of folks, when school was out on Friday, my parents dropped us. It was 4 assemblies. They put us in the car, drove us to Mississippi, and we stayed there all the way until like 2 weeks before school started back,
Right.
to come back and get ready.
Who's that cousin?
And that was all the way up until my teenage years, and I started playing sports.
Right.
And that was my pass, not to have to go.
What sports did you play?
Everything. I played to make sure I didn't have to go.
What was your back?
I played everything to make sure I didn't have to go.
What was your? I think we played every kind of sport too, because I grew up in Michigan on the other side of I was born here, but on the other side, and we lived what would be considered to be the country. And I think that me and my brothers and sisters, I believe that we played every sport, and I mean every sport, also so we could stay out that garden. Because saying I'm bored, which I find, so confusing. Speaking of confusing, as I'm sitting and I'm watching the teenagers here, and I keep hearing this thing, which is they don't have anything to do. And I'm thinking to myself, as growing up, that was the last thing that you wanted to say in front of your parents or to your parents is, I'm bored and I don't have anything to do, because they would instantly come up with you don't have anything to do?
Yeah.
And I don't understand.
Cut the grass, shovel the snow, rake the leaves.
Whatever it is.
You had.
Get out on the floor, clean the baseboards or whatever. Get
Wash
out
the
there.
car.
Everything.
All things that I
right?
did.
Clean the basement, order the stuff on the shelves. Oh, get that canning together. Get out there and pull them beans and then snap them beans, wash them and snap them. You know what I mean? And so I'm just looking at this going, what happened in the world and what happened in our homes? And that's where we go get to the support system.
Absolutely. That's
what has happened in our homes that we have a whole generation of parents who don't know how to keep your children safe and occupied and growing and learning.
And I'm going to say this, all honesty, because we have to be honest. We have to face the facts
that's
today.
all we want.
In this world, as we in this present state that we're in. You said those parents who didn't, their parents didn't guide them. There's a failure of responsibility by a lot of parents and their parents over the last 2 generations. There's a lot of there are some who got it right. Let's just be for sure. Like my parents got it right because
my parents got it right.
Again, you ain't got nothing to do. You go wash that car, you shovel that snow, you rake. Matter of fact, you washing air. Listen, I built my early business
Me
at
too.
the age of 8 or 9 years old by shoveling every house to the left of me, because we lived the 6th house off the corner, the east corner. I shoveled every house west of the house.
Yeah, it wasn't just
And I
yours.
shoveled every house east of the house. And then when the grass needed cutting, when I cut mine, my dad had me cut everybody to the east and everybody to the west. And when the leaves got ready to get raked, how you gonna rake your leaves up and leave the other little patch that's not? You rake everybody's
Yeah,
leaves.
because it can blow back on yours.
And
Also,
it was like, yes, even if in the wintertime, I had to go wash the car in the wintertime. My old man didn't go out and get me no heater. You go out there and start washing that car, close the garage door, and then when you get cold, come back in and warm up a little bit and go continue.
get right back out there. That's right.
Matter of fact, your mama car
We had to
and
sho-
my car.
We had to shovel. We had to do
Right?
everything.
And so no such thing as there's nothing to do.
Carl, our parents used to take us up north in Michigan, and when we got out, the grass would be high. You know, the first time we would go up in the summer and the grass would be high. You know what we used? He didn't even bring the mower up there. He just had the hand sickles. We were out there chopping down the grass with the hand sickles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then once that was done, we have, you know, all kinds of fun, apple fights, just all kind of things, right? But you had to start out with work. And I'm every time I hear, I watched the other day, and they had the police were having the community meeting with the parents and the police, and they were at one of the park districts, I don't remember, in one of the field houses. And they were just talking about the programs that they need to have. And then, you know, and one of the parents, wasn't the kids that said we didn't have anything to do, it's the parents who are saying, we need things for these kids to do. And I'm like, you can't give your children enough stuff to do to keep them out the street.
Man, it's a cop out, and again, it's failure on their part and the part of their parents that didn't instill in them all the necessary mechanisms that are at their disposal that cost you nothing. Again, you take all those little kids and you put them on corners of neighborhoods and get buckets and wash cars and have them all washing cars up and down the block.
Yeah.
Have them selling lemonade, Kool-Aid up and down. You're gonna go in the park and hang out. Go in the park and hang out with a means to how to do certain things. Don't just go hang. Go do something with a means. That's what we did. My generation did. That's what I did.
That's what we did.
And my generation ain't that far off. Ain't that far off from what the present generation is, or either my so I'm blaming my peers. My peers
Right.
who don't do those things, who make up excuses when there are a ton of things you can have them do. Go out. I made my daughter. When we get ready to leave out the house in the morning or in the afternoon, if I'm bringing her to and from her mother's house as we transport her back and forth, I had her go out in the morning and pick up the trash on the curb.
Exactly.
All the way down till I couldn't see her anymore. Cause I stand out there. When I couldn't see her, she'd come back. I go get her, but she had to pick up the trash all on the curb. I gave her bags and some gloves.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something that's so interesting about that. To this day, my daughter will not litter. She can eat a piece of gum, and she gonna do what she see me do. Put it in my pocket. I don't care if it's a little piece of mint.
Right.
I'm putting it in my pocket till I go find a garbage can. My daughter will not trash.
Throw trash out.
Nothing.
It's insane.
Because she learned that though from watching me, from seeing that trash. Like, why people put all their trash down here? I'm like, they just do for whatever reason, but that's not the point for you right now. Your point is to go pick it up, and that's what she did.
Right. That's what I
Here she's 24 years old. She still won't toss trash out.
No, and she will not toss trash out for the rest of her life.
Her life, and she'll teach her
Because-
kid to do that.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I saw a man the other day. He was walking with a woman right by the Museum of Science and Industry. And he and this woman, and they looked totally normal. I'm just going to say normal.
Mm-hmm.
Just an average young black man and an average young black lady. And they're walking down the street and together and talking and laughing. And he literally had something in his hand and he threw it on the ground. I can't think of who was in the car with me. He just threw it on the floor and they just kept walking. And she was looking all moony-eyed at him, you know, like, oh, he's just wonderful. And we both, in the car, both went, I mean, we literally had a visceral reaction that you just threw trash on the ground in front of the Museum of Science and Industry on this beautiful day. I would have just stopped and said, "Oh my God, pick that up.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Please pick that up. Please don't do that."
That's why I said
And we couldn't date anymore after that. I'm sorry, we just couldn't.
Especially if you refuse to do it. Now I may give you a pass if you just unconsciously did it, and I asked you to pick it up as you said what she should have done, and he said no. Then we off. Then we done.
Yeah.
I'll give you a space to make good. I'll give you some grace. You should have did that. You should pick that up. Oh, I'm sorry, baby, because it want to be impressive, right? I'll do that.
Right.
But if he say, girl, forget that trash, and then when he turned back around, she walking off. I'm gone. I'm leaving you at the museum. I'm gone.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
That's how you do that. But
it
anyway,
was unbelievable.
Okay.
I mean, so we're noticing all the same things.
Sure.
So I feel like all of this is bringing us to the book, right? Because
you had a bunch of other questions, though.
We did, but you kind of went through them. And
I did?
Yeah, we was getting to know Carl. I mean,
okay, well,
is there
I don't still
you're
think
a father?
I don't still think they know because I don't
Okay,
want them
well,
to,
let's go back
I
then.
don't want them to know what they don't need to know.
Let's talk about you. You're a father.
A proud father, no
Proud
question.
father,
No
one
question.
daughter.
No question.
And so this is interesting. So how has becoming a grandfather?
Nothing. Don't mean nothing to me.
It means everything to you.
Not to me. Not right now. Not right now.
As much as you mention it to me, I know that daughter and that grandchild are the lights of your life.
And I have to explain to people because they get confused when I say that. What I say to them, what I mean by that is, I don't have anything to do with it right now. It's not my business. That's the business of the mother and the father to raise them to be their child. I don't want to get in the way of any one of their goals or framework of how they want to raise her. That's their business. Because guess what? I'm a prophetic thought leader. I see what her mother and his mother do, and they don't like it. They intrusive. They act like which they know because they've raised kids. But I say let them figure it out on their own. As long as they're not driving off a cliff, let them figure it out the same way we all had to figure it out during our first run as parents. So I stay out of the way to let them figure it out. They know how to call. When they know me, when they need me, they know where to find me. And it's a great relief on me. It's a great relief on them. And they thank me for not being that intrusive that's always wants to do this, do that. What's up? What's up? No, I don't. Because what can I do? What can a 2-year-old kid give me? I know who she is. I see how she reacts when she see me.
She can give you hugs
when she sees me. But that's it.
Right.
I said when she's 7, 8 years old, I can give her real game. I'm taking her to Savannah, and y'all ain't gonna see her for a while. That's it.
You know what? That's how my grandfather was.
Until that point, y'all do what y'all gotta do to keep her under y'all tutelage, under y'all leadership, under y'all structure.
Yeah.
Let her know that, so she can't ever be pitting people against each other, which is what they do when they have that. Oh, my granddad loved me so much, he gonna make sure I can do this, and again he go against mommy and daddy because they told me no ice cream. He gonna give me ice cream, right? Mm-hmm. None of that. I did my part. I told them. I said I did my part. I raised her so you can meet her, so y'all can produce her.
Okay.
I raised my daughter so she could meet him.
Right. And be in a position.
So they could raise her.
Right.
And they're doing a fantastic job. Don't need my help in that arena. But everybody knows who I am. I know who I am.
Of course.
And if they need me, they know exactly where to find me. The other day they needed something from me. They wanted to holler at me. They came to the house and sat down for a couple of hours. I hung out with the kid for a little while. Spanked on her butt. She looked at me and laughed and grabbed me. Like, I ain't seen you in a while, but I know who you are because I can feel the feel. I can feel the feel.
Right.
Right? And they went on about their business until the next time. Till the next time. I'm not searching them out, and they ain't searching me out. I'm living my life, and hopefully they are living and growing into theirs.
Carl, that's good.
That's it.
This is funny when you said that, and I'm just living my life. Sometimes I see you go flashing past, and you're on the motorcycle.
I don't ride the scooter anymore.
Okay. And then it's like, was that just Carl? You know what I mean?
Gator scooter.
It's they're a little crazy out here driving.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't control what other people do, and right now they're out of control with these driving things. So, what is when you look back on your journey getting to here, right? What were some of the biggest challenges that you faced? Let's back up for a minute because we're going to get to that question. So you came out of Board of Trade, and you started.
Jumped in the mud.
Yeah, you got in the mud. We're in the dirt now. So we got TBT News, which has been around for a long time. How
15
long?
years.
15 years.
Yes.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
So
Remember when I started, 2010.
Right. So we're going to start with that. But so you start MG Media, you start this TBT News. Every time you look up, here's Carl West. He's there. He's everywhere. He's everywhere all the time. And so what was that like for you? I mean, we weren't always the nicest.
I mean, is there always the nicest? What's always the nicest? We ain't always nicest with our families, with our friends, with our lovers, with our husbands and wives.
I'm just talking about people.
People. That's what I'm talking about.
Who
People have moments. People have moments, and those people have moments.
No. What I mean by that is people who consume media. First of all, let's say this. We are outside of maybe the armed forces, the law enforcement, people who work on oil rigs, and cowboys. We're in one of the, outside of them, now I'm sure we can come up with a few other ones. We're in one of the most difficult businesses, I believe. And the reason why I say that.
We are the number one most powerful. We are in the number one most powerful business in the world. That I don't take for granted.
No, we
difficulties, I don't worry about difficulties. The man cleaning the Sears Tower on the scaffold.
Right, he's difficult. In there. Right.
What we do is not difficult. It's challenging only because it's so many variables that we have to connect to the dots in order for it to be the product that we want it to be at the end of the day. That goes with the job title. That goes with the, when you get a new job and they give you these duties and responsibilities, that goes with that.
Right.
There's no way around that.
Right. So when I say people are not always the nicest, it's because they don't have an understanding of what it takes to be able to do this. They don't have an understanding.
Sure.
They have no understanding at all.
To.
Right? And in order to do this business, to be in this business, which we're not even really we're not even called a business anymore. It's not even in the news business anymore. Now you're in the news ecosystem because everything has flipped and switched and changed. So people are not always, if there was a word that was misspelled, if there was this or that or the other, it's just the constant, used to be that constant criticism.
You've been around long enough.
It's moved now, it's changed.
You've been around long enough.
That
stuff doesn't affect me one bit.
That's what I'm saying. You had to develop a hard skin in that because...
If I wanted to win...
Because do you want the information or do you not want the information?
If I wanted to win...
Right.
If I wanted to win, I had to do what I had to do and how I had to do it with the means that I was working with. But all I wanted them to understand and to know was that I'm giving 100%. That's it. If you looked at me, or if I looked at me in the mirror and thought I was slacking, I wasn't trying to do my best, and then you have a right to critique me and criticize me.
Right.
But when I'm doing the best that I can do, and with what I'm working with, to give you the best that I can give you, that's the best. That's all I can do. How you receive that is totally up to you. Once I hit that send button, I'm done.
Right.
I'm done. However you receive that is totally up to you because I gave my all. I put in 10,000 hours like Malcolm Gladwell. I shot 2,000 shots last night in the middle of the night like Kobe Bryant so that I can give you the best product possible. Is it a perfected product, a perfect product? Nothing is.
I know that. That's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. Nothing is. But here's the question I have for you because I think that you were ahead when people couldn't see where you were going, right? But you were actually ahead of the game because TBT has it always been a newsletter?
Always.
Right.
From the very first 2010, before anybody else, had newsletters.
This is where I was trying to go to, right?
I was the first in this town.
Thank you.
And that anybody who want to be honest, they will tell you Carl West was the first to do a digital platform.
Oh.
They won't, I don't care. They won't have to.
They won't be honest.
But
it's
time stamped.
I brought it out because I wanted to put it there, right?
It's time stamped.
So I was going somewhere with that. People aren't always the nicest, and they thought it wasn't real. And now here we are today.
They told me it wasn't real.
Here we are today.
Yeah. Still here.
Still here, but this is
Still
the way
relevant.
that everyone is going, right? We have 2 newsletters ourselves, but you got 4 newsletters,
Yes.
right? So
Actually,
Carl
5.
West at 5 now, right?
Yeah.
So
Called The Truth. It's my entertainment, sports, and fashion piece.
okay, so when we say get it out the mud, I'm just trying to let people know what that really looks like, because that wasn't easy.
No.
To build something that has never been done, right? It's never been done. Like, we do a newspaper, but, you know, it's not nothing, but it's not new.
Right.
Literally 200 years next year. So, but we do a newsletter now. We do a podcast, but lots of people do a podcast. But that's where media is going, right? So you got to give it to people the way that they want to give it to. And so I wanted to give you your kudos for understanding on the front end.
Yes. Thank you.
How people were going to want to be receiving their information. Not that they didn't want to receive it.
They didn't even know it.
But how they didn't even know it. You had to train us to look for it, right? So I just wanted to give you your flowers on that.
I appreciate that.
So when you look back on this journey, again, back to the question, which was, what were some of the biggest challenges that you faced in building this? Because you built a lot.
The only challenge was me.
Okay. How
built?
so?
Am I built to go the distance?
I have a hard time believing that you.
Am I
wondered
built
that.
to go
You're
the
not
distance?
You're not a.
Am I built to go the distance? I
And
just
what-
told
and
you
you gave
about.
yourself the answer.
I just told you earlier about how I was disappointed in certain.
Sure.
But I didn't sit on that. I didn't sit on that and let it, churn in my gut every day. I thought about it from time to time. I had my moment where I sat down and say, well, it ain't no good. Can't say no good. They ain't even real. They thought they act like they come around here walking, trying to preach to us about, and y'all don't even come and hang out and support the hood like y'all should. Y'all come tell us how great y'all are, how much money y'all making, but then y'all walk away and leave and don't share the wealth, right? I had those moments, and I went and I said, okay, I'm done with that. That was my, what they say, preach to the choir, whatever you call it. And then I went and did what I had to do.
Okay.
Because I couldn't rely on them. I knew they wasn't going to be the one to become an ally of mine and me of them. I would have loved to have been allies to some of these people. I could have been a doggone good ally if they would have allowed me, if they'd have gave me the room to grow. Listen, here's what I say.
You're right on that.
Here's what I say.
Here's what I say. Understand.
I'm smarter than Mark Zuckerberg. I'm smarter than Elon Musk. I got more innovation than Jeff Bezos. If I would have had allies to look at me, I would probably be sitting on $1 billion massive wealth right now, because that's all they had. They had allies who believed in them. Believed in them and infused the necessary things to grow any business. And what's that? Capital.
Right.
I don't care how you look at it, all the love you give me, all the mentoring you can give me, all the counsel you can give me, don't help my business grow. It positions me to be ready to grow it, but it doesn't make it grow until I have an influx of capital.
Right.
Period. I didn't get that. And those people, and I'll say it right now, and if they watching this, they can look in the mirror and ask themselves a question. Did I fail, Carl? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
But again, it was all me. I put it all on me. Because this was my journey. It was my journey. So when I wake up every day, I don't think about anybody else when I get ready to do what I have to do, other than the team that helps me do it, of course.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's my name on it. Anything they go with the spell wrong, letters and photos not cropped right, None of them is going to get any calls about it. They're not going to be the one.
Right.
It's going to come to me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, in the beginning, I cried.
Right. But that's what I was saying.
In the
It
beginning,
hurt your feelings at
it
first.
did. I cried a lot. They don't like me. They always picking on me. But then I had to still produce, and I couldn't. And I could. There was no way I could change it. I got.
Right.
I'm working with what I'm working with, and I may have corrected that one, but tomorrow there'd be another one. That was just the way it was, and I had to. But then here's what helped me to understand not just me, but the psyche of the people on the other side getting it.
Right.
I figured they were just being more critical anyway, just because of the nature of people. Just the nature of people. They was extra critical at me because they knew me, they saw me, and they was like, who is this mofo, right? Who you think you are? I had people tell me that. Who you think you are doing this? You ain't even a trained journalist. And this was trained journalist. Who you think you are? And I used to always say, well, I'm not trying to win a Pulitzer Prize for journalism. I'm trying to build a business model.
That's right.
That will one day be able to hire you. I'm trying to build a business model that would hire you. I don't care about being a journalist. I became a journalist by default because I didn't have at the beginning, who's going to write for an upstart? I can't pay them. I can't pay them. And nobody had love for the game to just say, oh, I'll just do it, right? And so I just had to do what I had to do. But I had to understand this other thing. I came to the realization like what? I'm like, well, we had cell phones, right? And then we have cable. And how many times do our cable go out on us? We're watching the fight or watching the basketball game.
In the most
do these
inopportune
folks,
time.
do they cancel their subscription? Do they call them and get mad and curse them out and say, I ain't gonna subscribe with you no more? No, they just sit back and wait till they come back on.
They just cuss at the TV, but
they're sitting there waiting till they come back on and they didn't miss the knockout.
Right.
They didn't miss the winning basket, but they don't do anything outside of that. Same thing with cell phones. Cell phones was always dropping early on. Dropping every time you go on the viaduct, just dropping. Did people not have cell phones? Did they give up their cell phones because of that?
No.
They may have screamed at the phone, and some people may have called the cell phone provider, but they kept that phone. And I said to myself, and these were credible and reputable, well-established businesses. For sure. So if they can make mistakes, little bitty old Carl West can make some and survive this too. Period. End of story. When I adopted that mentality, that was the end of it. I didn't hear you no more.
You let it go.
I tried, of course, but still in all, I'm going to give you 100%. I never said let me slack up and not give you the best of me. That was always priority number one. But I didn't cry anymore. That's all. I didn't cry anymore in the closet from that. I was like, I'm healed.
Yeah.
I'm healed.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a healing that happens.
You have to have it.
To develop that real super. Yeah. It's not that you didn't have thick skin because you did have thick skin.
I developed.
But there's the shell coating. They got the hard shell coating that has to go over top of the thick skin.
I just put Armor All on mine.
There you go,
so
Armor All,
so it can
whatever.
Shine. I just put Armor All on the coating so it can shine.
So you started with media, but you moved, even while using your media, into really focusing on leadership and mentoring. Where did that come from?
That was the next phase. That was just the next phase.
Talk about it. Next phase of life.
I mean, if you want to be a leader in this space or in your industry or in your community, you have to demonstrate that by the things that you do in your community, for your community, in your profession. And I studied leadership. That was the thing that was top on my list of. I used to read one of my mentors again. Mr. Garth was one of the ones that said this to me, and another one, Clarence Woods from the Clare House. I mean, great guy. Used to have long conversations with him at night, and he was like, read autobiographies of self-made people who come from the mud and went up here, and find the commonalities.
That's
in
right.
them.
There's a common thread.
There's a common thread there. Find that, and that'll take you wherever you want to go. But in one of them was being effective leaders. How do you be an effective leader, not just within your business, in your community, in your family? Because you take that leadership skill everywhere you go.
Correct.
It's not just in your business.
Right.
Right. Once you perfect it, or you try to perfect it, or you continue to perfect it, it's what you do everywhere you go. And then, of course, my love for young people, because of what changed my life when I was a kid, which the book, well, we would talk about that in this conclusion, I'm sure. But I knew I had to do that. Again, seeing those people at the Board of Trade, bringing those, that was leadership.
Yeah.
That was leadership.
Obviously, that was
leadership.
Yeah, it was for sure leadership. And obviously, having seen that and experienced it in that conversation, definitely got inside of you.
Yeah.
And maybe changed some things.
It
Your whole
transformed me. It transformed me like never before.
Transformed.
And it is a blessing of a transformation. A blessing of a transformation, truly. And I'm still studying how to be a better leader, and for my community primarily, because I'm at a point where I got it for me. I know the lane I'm in, and there's no confusion. There's an exit, but it's when I get off, I'm done on that. But right now, I'm in my lane. But I'm still trying to figure out now how to be better for all the things, for all the right reasons. How to be better to my friends, how to be a better son to my mother, how to be a better father, and a grandfather. Well, I can't be no more of a better father to my daughter other than be a great grandfather to her child, right? How to be better to my friends, how to be better to just my community. Those are the things that move me and drive me now. So everything I do is really focusing on that.
Okay.
The programming that I come up with is programming to make people better, make us better, and how can I provide a better place for you to become better? Right. That's what an effective leader does.
Right.
At every level, because there's levels to it.
There's levels to it.
This is the level I'm at. Right, and so, yeah.
So here we are. It leads us here.
My baby.
Your baby.
My baby. My.
So again, I'm going to show. This is, and our listening audience can't hear this, but the name of the book is The Support System, and it's who will help guide them. The power of mentoring.
Yes. The most important question we should be asking today, and always, ain't just today, regardless of what times we're in, we should always ask that question. Again, being leaders, who will help guide them? And the question is us. It's always us. It comes back to the leaders. You can't call yourself a leader in this world, in your community, in your home, on your block, if you are not willing to transform or guide lives to a better life. If not, get away from me. Get away from me.
People do, though. I mean, that
they do.
happens. And I'm even, I hate to talk, I mean, maybe, but I'm looking at, the same forum that I mentioned earlier with the kids and the parents. It was hosted by one of the CVI, which is the Community Violence Interrupters.
Yes.
And which I was glad to see, right? Mm-hmm. I was glad to see that because it needed to be done, right? But there's so much room out here. I mean, we just have such a gap that is it's just a chasm of just emptiness where leadership should be. So
True.
This is where, when did you decide that the broader aspects of leadership that you have come to understand
21 years old
needed to be shared with the public? I
was 21 when I decided that mentoring was important. It was an important factor in my life to give back, because go back before I was 21, I was 11 years old. And here's I'm going to do it quick. I was 11 years old. I grew up in Chatham. I was a wonderful athlete, again, playing sports. And just like any urban community, you got the good, you got the bad side. You got the good kids and the bad kids. Back then, we all played together.
Right.
The star athlete on my team was the guy who was a robber, right? Like he sold all the dope, right? But he was just happened to do that, but he was also a talented athlete. So we played together. So when the games was over, two things happened. The bad kids went to that side of the park. The good kids went to that side of the park. But guess what? We did the same things except for one thing. The good side of the kids drank, smoked, and played with the girls until the street lights came on because they was the good kids. The street lights come on, you got to go. The bad kids smoked, drank, played with the girls. But when the street lights came on, it was time to go.
They went to work.
They went to go rob. They went to go do work, as you stated.
They put in work.
Right. And so I was doing both because I was a star athlete. My friend, I told you, was the star athlete with me, but he also was putting in work.
Right.
And so I go hang out with him. I hang out with the good kids. Mostly, I hang out with the good kids. I did this enough time with the bad kids until three men that was older, 17, 18, 19, in my community, saw me and was like, Carl, what's up? What are you doing? And they probably had to do this about 4 or 5 or 6 times before I finally heard them. And they forced me to make a change. Carl, why are you over there? That ain't you. Why are you doing that? And they kept tapping me on my shoulder. They kept doing it. They did not give up. They was very persistent. Carl, I know you. I know your brother. I know you ain't, that ain't you. They finally said to the bad kids, Carl can't hang with y'all no more. If he come around, y'all reject him. And they did. They did.
That's leadership.
Did. Now, fast forward to that 21. You know how when you leave your neighborhood, go off to school, whatever you go do, service, whatever, get a job, you ain't involved in that stuff anymore, and where y'all collectively always hanging out in the park because y'all got things to do, trying to mature and grow up. But you get that call saying, hey man, remember old boy? Yeah, he died. Remember old boy? Yeah, he died. Remember old girl? Yeah, she got hit by a car. Remember, yeah. So at 21, I got this one call. I got multiple calls through that. By the time I got 21, I got that last call, and it told me about the last dude. The bad cast, it was 5 of them. 5 of them. I got the call on number 5. And I was like, I stopped and said
All
to
5
myself,
of them, huh?
all 5 of the cats that I was running with at the time, what we was doing is breaking in garages, taking pull-out radios.
Yeah.
Remember the pull-out radios?
Yeah, of the
we was
cars.
doing that, and we was getting beat up because we was trying to sell them back to people's who was friends and families who got caught. We're like, dude, old boy got his radio taken out of his garage last night, and you trying to sell one? Is that my man's radio?
Yeah.
Right? So then they be chasing
It's
this
a pioneer.
right? So it dawned on me that all 5 of those cats are now dead, and I would have been 6, most likely, if I would have stayed with them if those 3 men hadn't kept tapping me on my shoulder. And that was the moment it clicked into me. I will do what I can for young people, for what they did to me, to save me. And that was it. And I've been mentoring, and at the time I didn't call it that. I was just always open to young people when I saw them to try to transform them and guide them away from, or guide them to something that was positive instead of guiding them always away from something that was negative. I want to always try to think about, I'm going to guide you towards something positive that can transform your life through, again, the title of the book, The Power of Mentoring. I want to be your support system.
Right.
And that's how it all came about. And of course, the book wasn't a part of that then. That came again, like I say, that book is, 10 to 12 years in the making.
Right.
I just knew it was time for me to do something to take what I did on my own personal time and expand it out to influence other people to also participate in this incredible gift of guiding and transforming young lives. It's an incredible gift when you can do that outside of your own children. And again, like you say, I know tons of people who don't. I know tons of people who talk against it. I don't know what to say about that.
Talk against what?
Talk about mentoring.
Oh.
They just don't believe it's necessary for them. Oh, man, I got my own kids. I ain't worried about them little nappy-head cats. I got my own kids to raise. And I've been able to transform some of them, and a lot of them I haven't been able to transform. They're still on that. And I'm like, how sad for you? How sad for you to not
I know,
to
that
be
you-
doing God's work, to contribute to God's work, because that's all His work. That's
It
what
is.
He did. That's what He did, right? Traveled the world trying to create more disciples to follow in whatever He felt was necessary to make a world a better place.
That's right.
Yeah.
Doing the Lord's work. Listen, I know, because we don't have a lot of time left,
Sure.
but there's a couple things I really want to touch on.
Please.
And then we're going to talk of how people can get the book. But one of the things that you did that all of this makes perfect sense. It's like this big lead up to this book, but prior to this book, you had, and hopefully you're still doing it, which was the men's,
Men Motivated Men's
yes,
Tour. Hood
the
Tour.
men's tour.
Yeah.
Let's
Spectacular.
talk about it. Is spectacular.
It was
And
spectacular. I haven't
is
done
it
it.
going to happen this year?
I'm going to do it again. I don't know
let's
when.
tell people what it was first.
Well, first of all, I've been blessed enough again to know a lot of great brothers. Let's just be completely honest. I know,
but this is you being a leader.
I've been a leader. My objective was to bring outstanding brothers together, outstanding men together, and have them talk about what manhood looks like from their profession, their business, and from their profession, their family, and their community. And I would bring them a TED Talk style.
Yep.
Where they would just have 20 minutes to open up and tell the crowd exactly what manhood, give us a brief synopsis of their journey, and then conclude with what manhood meant to them in terms of their families,
Yeah.
the community, and their profession. And it was very powerful, very powerful.
Yeah.
And
How many series, how many
I-
stops did you have?
I
'Cause there was
partnered
quite a
with
few.
the City College of Chicago, thanks to Nate Ward, and we did it 2 years in total, because it was what? Is it 7 city colleges? I think we did all city colleges that first year. Second year we didn't do the complete 7. Something happened. We did the complete 7, and then the third year we only did like 2 or 3, and then we stopped it. And then, this was getting ready. I was working on this book, and to me that was important, and I just didn't feel like continuing it. But I said I'll come back. To me, because once you learn how to build something, then you can always go back and repeat it again. And I will one day. Hopefully I will. Or I don't know. I can't tell you I will, but I loved it. I got a lot of men.
We can hope.
Every man I called
Said yes.
said yes. Said yes. And the best one I did in terms of the collection of men, because I decided to partner with NBC when the brother first took over NBC, Kevin Cross. He first became the president of NBC over there in Chicago. I said, man, I need you to partner. I want to partner with you. He said, Carl, why don't you let me host one where we bring all our men in? Because they had like 7 men, black men, who were personalities. And we did it at Harold Washington College because they wanted to be close by downtown in case the men had to make a move. And so Kevin hosted. He brought out Art Norman. Every brother that was on NBC5 was there. Of course, they gave me tons of coverage because of that.
Right.
And I got to see these men just talk about their lives and their careers and what, again, they followed the script, what manhood meant in your community, your family, and in your profession. It was just inspiring. And so I was going to do it with other networks to do that same thing. And I think that was one of the last ones on that. That was that first year.
Right.
And so, but anyway, it was a great look, man. And so I've seen people do it, replicate it, or do it in their own little piece, and that's cool because it's necessary. It's, there should be one of those going on every weekend somewhere in Chicago because that conversation is never enough. It's never enough.
It's never enough.
Never enough.
So in this, because you've had a long run on this, because we didn't even get to talk about
that means there's a part 2. That's all.
United. Yeah.
That's all.
But so one question for you, 2 questions for you.
Yes.
Before we close. What to you separates good leadership from great leadership? That's a hard question, but a
Well-
lot of people are leaders. But then there's people who are great leaders.
Well, great leaders have statistics to prove it.
Yeah,
That's a great leader. You got stats. You got ongoing. Michael Jordan is a great
evidence.
6-0, 6 championships and no losses.
Evidence.
There you go. Anybody who got 4 and any others and got losses, you're a good leader, but you haven't reached a great status. Great status has the track record that follows you. And you look back and say, oh, he's always, or she has always done this.
Yeah.
This is, now you get to a point over a 10, 15, 20-year period. It's just an accumulation of leadership, but yet progressive, matured, strong, and all of a sudden you become great at it. It's like Malcolm Gladwell says, here's how I summed it up good. 10,000, you need 10,000 hours to consider to be great at something.
That's right.
10,000 hours. So you look at that accumulative thing over 10, 20, 30 years, whatever the case may be, you count those hours, and now you are a great leader because you have 10,000 hours of work and data and stats to go with it. You just can't be, it just can't be a great leader because you stepped up one day and did something you thought was great. And no, you just, well, you're okay. You're okay.
That's a one-timer.
It's like, you're okay. Do it again. Do it again.
Okay.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Can you replicate it?
Absolutely. Can you sustain over a period of time at a high level, whatever that high level means to you doing that? Then I can give you the word great behind that.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a good definition of what's the
Yes.
difference between the two. Okay, so we're gonna do our final thing,
Yes.
which is because we're gonna do kind of a rapid, right?
And I'm good at those. I got a quick
Okay.
with it. I got a quick with it, man. I'm a
So-
Gemini.
What's your favorite leadership quote?
Oh, that's easy. God works in those who are working.
God works in those who are working. Okay.
People sit on
Very
the couch
good.
talking about, God, please help me, bring me something.
Yeah.
You're on the couch. What are you talking about?
Right.
He ain't bringing you nothing. Get out there and put the work in, and he will provide for you if you do it sustainable long enough and serious enough about it. He'll bring it to you.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And he
absolutely.
does.
He absolutely
Right?
does.
He helps those who help themselves.
Absolutely.
So
I made that
I think
quote
we
up,
went to this earlier. I hear you, but I mean, essentially, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah, it
it's
is.
a paraphrase,
Exactly. Thank you.
which means it's spot on, right? I think we danced around this a little bit, but who was the most influential mentor in your life? Or let's just go from mentor. Let's just say man. I think I know the answer.
Bill Garth.
Mentor.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because of the time he put in with me.
I was going my maker.
I accumulated probably half of my 10,000 hours sitting in his office under his
Listening.
leaders. Yes, just listening. Just listening. He used to tell me, shut up. If you're going to come in here, shut up. And I would come to his door and knock and sit in that office with him. And he would invite me to meetings.
On that little couch.
He would invite me to meetings with him. And he just tell me to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
But he was, and I never understood why but I understand now, of course, why he was doing it. Took me a while to figure it out, but I do now. But it was invaluable to me for me to be in a company of men who I didn't know, who would one day know me. And when they saw me, that's Mr. Garth, man. I got into so many rooms because of that.
Yep. All over this country.
All over. I got into so many rooms
I
because
have
of
to
that.
say all over
Yes.
this world,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because of because of him being able to do that, and lunches at Dailies.
Dailies, that's it.
I mean, Gladys, and just the things that
Both.
you, Isola's,
he was at all of them.
Isola's, and just the things that you just were there and got to just sit there. The things that you
Here.
hear
And see.
and
He the one that told
bring
me.
in,
He's the one that told
absorb.
me. He said, I used to write. I got my start writing in this newspaper. Now I wasn't a prolific writer. I was a learned writer, but
I remember you writing.
but he used. I used to write and stuff, and I used to be so excited
column.
when he came out on Wednesdays. I used to go grab 100 papers from Rose at the front desk and go pass them out my neighborhood to my people and stuff. And then it'd be periodical times when my people like, Carl, where's your article at? I'm like, it ain't in there? Because I didn't look. I just grab it and be gone. And he's like, no. And I look, where's my article? Mr. Carr, where's my article? He said, I told you don't write that stuff. Don't write about that or him or her. He's very serious about it. Okay.
I'm very serious about that too.
And so he did it probably 5 or 6 times to me. And then finally he saw my complete, because I put all this into this article. I keep giving it to my people and they laughing at me, man. Man, you don't even know your stuff gonna come out. And I'm like, okay. And he saw it in me and he was like, Carl, if you don't like it, do your own.
Get your own.
If you don't like it, do your own. This is mine. And that's what I said. I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it. And that's how it all started. And we didn't have it wasn't no trip, because he helped me formulate like
how to do it
when
right.
I needed some advice about who is a graphic artist? What do they do? Right? I didn't know all that stuff. I just gave my article, how it got laid out. I never asked no questions. Now I start asking questions about how it get laid out. Who does what? Who's in charge of this? And he would tell me, oh, this is my son. His son did the layout, at the time, and Rose did
she'd
all that.
Put the stuff
all
in there.
That. And so that was what took me into the journey.
Back, we roll into things on the things. Lisa Eli would be back there.
Absolutely. That's what took me in. That's what got me started when he said, do it yourself. And it clicked and I said, I will.
Okay.
That was it.
God bless Mr. Garth.
God bless him.
Bill Garth was something else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I did have that same exact conversation with somebody, and she did have to end up going a different way, but I was very serious about that.
True.
I said, don't put that in there. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Right? But,
It's just what it is. You run it the way you're supposed to run it. If it's yours.
That's right.
Yeah, simple.
So,
No
this
debate,
was a
no
hard
argument.
one. Ready?
Ain't no hard ones.
Lightning round.
Ain't no hard ones.
Success or significance?
Significance.
Boom. Okay, good answer. Okay. And what is one thing that people misunderstand about you?
Just me, period.
They just misunderstand you all over.
the way. They misjudge me all the time.
Okay. And that's okay.
Yeah,
Nothing
I know.
wrong with that.
I'm cool with that.
What?
Unless you get to know me and sit down with me, you ain't supposed to know.
That's right.
You ain't supposed to know.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
Unless
okay
you
to be
go,
open.
you don't know how a car runs, you just drive it until you're somebody who do what? Work on cars. Okay.
Last thing. This show is Chicago State of Mind.
Yes.
So
It's called Carl West State of Mind today.
Well, today it is. It's about, the show is about Carl West today. But what is Carl, when we say something is a Chicago State of Mind, what does that make you think of?
I have no idea.
Tell me about Chicago.
I have no idea.
Tell me about...
I have no idea.
Well, Chicago State of Mind right now is a wild thing, right? And generally everybody says, oh, and they're right. They're not wrong. They're absolutely right.
It's a Chicago
But
thing.
I think we might have a little bit of an expanded perspective.
I don't know what it is.
So people say, oh, that Chicago works.
I
There's
don't
a
know
city
what
of
it is.
people that work.
Oh, everybody's
And that
working
we're
in every
resilient.
city.
We're
Everybody's
resilient.
resilient in every city. And if you haven't been to every city and every state
Then
of
you
this
don't know.
country, you have no idea.
But
I always
you know,
laugh at folks that say that. If you haven't been to I'm not trying to knock the state, but I'm just saying it's a dumb thing to say if you haven't been everywhere, to every city, every state, every corner of a city, to know what how it functions. There are places that function. There are places that function better than Chicago. There's places that function worse than Chicago. There are places that function with good people and bad people. That's just racism and all the other kind of stuff. There's no Chicago State of Mind. I mean, we can try to define it. No, we can spend this time in our lifetime trying to define it. For me, and you can take your approach, I can't define what that is.
Well,
I can't. I just can't figure it
I
out.
don't either. But because I think it's constantly changing all the time. This has been Chicago State of Mind.
Yes.
Chicago State of Mind is a CNW production. Today's episode was produced by CaveRoom Entertainment. For more information, visit us at www.cnwmedia.com.